There is a biological moment in life that most people do not feel until it is already underway. A quiet shift that begins in your 40s and accelerates after 50. Your metabolism slows down, recovery takes longer, your sleep patterns change, but the most dangerous shift is invisible. Your cells become less efficient at absorbing nutrients that were once easily utilized by your brain, muscles, and immune system. And what many do not realize is that the same food you ate at 30 may no longer nourish your body in the same way at 50. According to a study published in the Journal of Nutrition, Health and Aging, nutrient absorption efficiency decreases significantly in older adults, particularly for key compounds like magnesium, vitamin B12, and certain amino acids. This change, driven by alterations in gut function, hormone levels, and mitochondrial energy production, sets the stage for fatigue, brain fog, inflammation, and muscle loss, all hallmarks of aging that many mistakenly accept as inevitable. But they are not. Here's what the research shows. Targeted nutrition in the second half of life can dramatically improve energy, cognitive clarity, immune resilience, and emotional balance. Scientists at Tufts University found that older adults who prioritize specific nutrient-dense foods maintain sharper memory, lower rates of chronic illness, and even improved physical mobility compared to those who did not. So today we are going to explore 6 scientifically validated foods that become not just helpful but essential after 50, not just for living longer, but for living sharper, stronger, and with a sense of vitality that defies the stereotype of aging. Each of these foods supports a key system in your body, from your brain's neurotransmitter production, to your muscle protein synthesis, to your gut-brain axis. And I will give you clear, practical tools for how to use them, when to eat them, what to pair them with, and how to make them part of your daily habits without overwhelm. We will move beyond vague advice like eat healthy into targeted, neuroscience-backed nutrition that makes a measurable difference in how you feel and function. Because after 50, food is no longer just fuel. It is medicine, it is memory, it is movement, and it is mood. When it comes to preserving brain function and cardiovascular health after the age of 50, few foods deliver more comprehensive protection than cold water fatty fish like salmon and sardines. These fish are rich in long-chain omega fats, particularly docosahexaenoic acid and icosapentaenoic acid, which are essential for maintaining the integrity of brain cell membranes and reducing systemic inflammation. A landmark study published in Neurology found that older adults with higher levels of these fats in their blood had significantly larger brain volumes, particularly in regions linked to memory and cognition. What is happening in your brain when you consume these fats is profound. They become structural components of neurons, enhancing the flexibility and signaling capacity of synapses, which means better memory, sharper attention, and slower cognitive decline. But the benefits do not stop at the brain. These same compounds help reduce arterial stiffness and improve heart rate variability, key markers of cardiovascular resilience. Sardines offer an additional advantage. They are small, low on the food chain, and contain less mercury while still delivering a concentrated source of essential fats, vitamin B12, selenium, and calcium from their edible bones. This makes them uniquely powerful for those concerned with both cognitive preservation and skeletal health. One simple protocol to apply is to consume cold water fish at least 3 times per week, ideally paired with a source of polyphenols like steamed greens or fermented vegetables to enhance antioxidant activity and digestion. Timing also matters. Research shows that consuming these fats earlier in the day, especially alongside a protein-rich meal, can improve neurotransmitter synthesis and stabilize energy across the day. For those averse to the taste or smell of sardines, try preparing them with lemon juice, fresh herbs, and extra virgin olive oil, or blend them into a Mediterranean-style salad with arugula and walnuts. The key is consistency, not perfection. Even small, regular doses can create long-term gains. And if fresh options are unavailable, frozen wild-caught salmon or sustainably canned sardines in olive oil offer a shelf-stable alternative. Have you noticed how your thinking gets foggy after poor sleep or extended stress? That fog is often driven by low-grade inflammation in the brain, something these fish help directly reduce. By making cold water fish a staple in your routine, you are not just eating for the present, you are building a neurological buffer against aging, mood instability, and cardiovascular strain. And over time, this small habit can yield a compounding return in energy, emotional stability, and mental clarity. If you are over 50 and you want to stay mentally sharp and physically strong, this is one food that should move from optional to essential. Avocados are one of the most underrated tools for hormone optimization and joint support, especially after the age of 50, when both testosterone and estrogen levels naturally decline and the body's ability to produce synovial fluid begins to weaken. What makes the avocado unique is its density of monounsaturated fats, particularly oleic acid, which not only support heart health, but also serve as raw material for steroid hormone production. Your body uses fats to synthesize hormones, and without high-quality sources like avocado, this process becomes sluggish, leading to symptoms like low energy, poor libido, increased abdominal fat, and joint discomfort. Research published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism has shown that diets rich in monounsaturated fats improve the production of both testosterone and estrogen precursors, which helps restore balance to the endocrine system. But there is more. Avocados are packed with vitamin E, a powerful antioxidant that protects cell membranes from oxidative stress, including those surrounding your joints, muscles, and nerves. They also contain a remarkable compound called beta-sitosterol, which has been shown to modulate cortisol levels, reduce inflammation, and improve cholesterol metabolism, all of which become harder to regulate with age. What is happening in your body when you consume avocados consistently is a chain reaction of protective processes. Your joints become more lubricated, your mood stabilizes, and your metabolism becomes more efficient. A simple tool to apply is to eat half of an avocado daily, ideally in the first half of the day when hormone synthesis is most active. Pairing avocado with eggs, leafy greens, or sardines can enhance the absorption of fat-soluble vitamins like A, D, and E, while also supporting brain function and satiety. For those with joint pain, combining avocado with turmeric and black pepper in a smoothie or spread can create a synergistic anti-inflammatory effect. Have you noticed how some people maintain youthful skin, better movement, and stable energy into their 60s and 70s? Often these are not genetic miracles. They are people who consistently nourish their hormones, joints, and mitochondria with foods that quietly support inner balance. Avocados provide both a cushion for the body and a catalyst for vitality. And if you are concerned about calories or fat intake, the research is clear. Whole food fats like those in avocados do not contribute to weight gain in the same way processed fats do. In fact, they often improve insulin sensitivity and body composition. By incorporating avocados into your daily routine, you are giving your body a powerful signal of abundance, safety, and readiness, the very conditions it needs to produce the hormones and lubricants that keep you moving, thinking, and feeling like yourself. There is a category of vegetables that do far more than provide fiber or vitamins. They actually interact with your DNA to help repair damage, regulate hormones, and support detoxification pathways that become sluggish after the age of 50. These are cruciferous vegetables, a group that includes broccoli, cauliflower, kale, Brussels sprouts, arugula, and cabbage, and they contain unique phytochemicals like sulforaphane, indole-3-carbinol, and diindolylmethane that actively influence how your genes express themselves. Research published in Frontiers in Genetics shows that sulforaphane in particular activates a transcription factor called NRF2, which turns on the body's antioxidant defense systems and enhances cellular detoxification. What is happening in your body when you eat these vegetables is not just nutrient absorption, it is genetic signaling. Your liver enzymes ramp up, your cells begin clearing out damaged proteins, and your immune system becomes more efficient at identifying harmful agents. After 50, when your body's ability to process environmental toxins, medications, and metabolic waste declines, this support becomes critical. These vegetables also assist in breaking down excess estrogen and other hormone metabolites through the liver's phase 1 and phase 2 detox pathways, which means better hormonal balance, lower inflammation, and protection against hormone-sensitive cancers. A simple protocol to apply is to consume 1 to 2 cups of lightly steamed cruciferous vegetables daily, as steaming reduces goitrogens and enhances the bioavailability of sulforaphane without destroying its potency. For deeper detoxification, Pair these vegetables with foods rich in selenium like Brazil nuts or eggs, and add a squeeze of lemon or splash of apple cider vinegar to increase digestive enzyme activity. If you have noticed brain fog after heavy meals or fatigue in the morning, it may be due to the sluggish clearance of toxins and hormone byproducts, something this food group can directly improve. A great strategy is to make cruciferous vegetables the base of one major meal each day. Think sautéed kale with garlic and olive oil, or roasted Brussels sprouts with mustard and turmeric. For those with sensitive digestion, begin with smaller amounts and gradually build up as your microbiome adapts. This is not just about eating vegetables, it is about empowering your body to clean itself from the inside out. And at a time in life when cellular repair slows and environmental exposures accumulate, this daily ritual becomes one of the simplest and most powerful ways to protect your longevity from the genetic level up. For there is one category of fruit that acts like a protective shield for your brain, your blood vessels, and your memory. It is berries. Blueberries, raspberries, blackberries, and strawberries are not only delicious, they are pharmacological in the way they interact with the aging brain. Rich in anthocyanins, flavonoids, and polyphenols, berries have been shown to cross the blood-brain barrier and influence neuronal communication, reducing oxidative stress and slowing cognitive decline. A large study published in Annals of Neurology followed over 16,000 participants for more than 2 decades and found that those who consumed at least 2 servings of berries per week delayed cognitive aging by as much as 2.5 years. What is happening in your brain when you eat berries consistently is remarkable. The flavonoids help repair microvascular damage, improve neuroplasticity, and protect against the kind of inflammation that drives memory loss, mood disorders, and even neurodegeneration. After the age of 50, your natural antioxidant defenses begin to wane, and your brain becomes more vulnerable to oxidative stress, especially in regions like the hippocampus, which governs learning and memory. Berries step in to fill that gap. They also help regulate blood sugar and insulin sensitivity, which is key for preventing the kind of metabolic dysfunction that accelerates aging. A simple behavioral tool is to consume a half to 1 cup of mixed berries daily, preferably in the morning or as part of a mid-afternoon snack paired with protein or fat, such as Greek yogurt, chia seeds, or a handful of almonds, to slow sugar absorption and enhance nutrient delivery. Frozen organic berries are just as effective as fresh and can be easily added to smoothies, oatmeal, or even salads. Have you ever noticed how your mental clarity improves after a light breakfast that includes fruit compared to the fogginess after a heavy meal? That is not just digestion, that is your brain responding to polyphenols that improve blood flow and mitochondrial efficiency. For those looking to support emotional regulation, studies also suggest that flavonoid-rich diets are associated with lower rates of depression and better mood stability in older adults. This is not about eating fruit randomly. It is about strategically using nature's pharmacy to protect your brain from one of the most feared aspects of aging, cognitive decline. By making berries a daily ritual, you are not only supporting your memory and focus, but also reinforcing the vascular and cellular foundations of long-term mental resilience. Nuts and seeds are compact powerhouses of metabolic and hormonal support, and their role becomes even more critical after the age of 50, when blood sugar regulation, insulin sensitivity, and hormone stability begin to decline. These small but mighty foods contain a precise blend of healthy fats, fiber, plant-based protein, and essential minerals like magnesium, zinc, and selenium, all of which play direct roles in supporting thyroid function, reproductive hormone production, and cellular energy balance. Research published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition shows that regular consumption of nuts is associated with lower levels of systemic inflammation, better glucose control, and reduced risk of metabolic syndrome in older adults. What is happening inside your body when you eat a handful of almonds, walnuts, chia seeds, or pumpkin seeds is a cascade of stabilizing effects. Your insulin response becomes more measured, your cortisol levels drop, and your body receives the nutrients it needs to produce hormones like testosterone, estrogen, and thyroid hormones more effectively. Magnesium, in particular, abundant in pumpkin seeds and almonds, is a cofactor in over 300 enzymatic reactions, including those that regulate mood, muscle recovery, and sleep quality. One simple tool to apply is to incorporate 1 to 2 tablespoons of a seed blend or a small handful of mixed nuts into your first or second meal of the day. This provides sustained energy, improves satiety, and helps blunt the glycemic response of carbohydrate-containing foods. Pairing seeds with fermented foods like yogurt or sauerkraut enhances mineral absorption and gut health, while combining nuts with berries or dark chocolate can create a brain-boosting snack that supports vascular integrity and cognitive clarity. Have you ever felt a mid-afternoon crash or sudden irritability without a clear reason? Often this is due to blood sugar dips or mineral imbalances that nuts and seeds help correct. For those with digestive sensitivity, soaking raw nuts and seeds overnight helps reduce anti-nutrients and improve bioavailability. And if you are concerned about fat intake or calories, remember that the fats in these whole foods behave differently than those in processed oils. They signal satiety, stabilize hormones, and improve lipid profiles rather than store as visceral fat. By weaving nuts and seeds into your daily rhythm, you are providing your body with the biochemical tools it needs to regulate energy, mood, metabolism, and hormone output in a way that supports healthy aging. This is not just a snack. It is a strategy for building resilience from the inside out. Dark chocolate, when chosen and used strategically, becomes far more than an indulgence. It becomes a tool for supporting emotional balance, vascular health, and even brain function, particularly after the age of 50, when mood regulation and blood flow efficiency often begin to decline. The key is cacao content. Dark chocolate with a minimum of 70% cacao is rich in flavonols, plant compounds that enhance nitric oxide production, relax blood vessels, and improve circulation throughout the brain and body. A clinical trial published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that older adults who consumed high flavonol cocoa daily showed improved cerebral blood flow and better performance on cognitive tasks related to memory and processing speed. What is happening in your body when you eat high cacao dark chocolate is a network-level upgrade. Your brain receives more oxygen and glucose, your mood-regulating neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine become more responsive, and your vascular system becomes more adaptable to physical and emotional stress. These flavonols also interact with the gut-brain axis, modulating inflammation and supporting the diversity of beneficial gut bacteria, both of which play crucial roles in regulating mood and cognitive resilience. One simple protocol is to consume a small piece of dark chocolate, approximately 20 to 30 grams, in the late afternoon or early evening when mental fatigue and stress levels tend to peak. Pairing it with a few walnuts or a cup of green tea can enhance antioxidant activity and provide a calming, mood-supportive ritual. If you have ever noticed a lift in your spirits after eating dark chocolate, that is not placebo. It is your brain responding to an increase in an anandamide, often called the bliss molecule, which chocolate helps preserve by inhibiting its breakdown. But not all chocolate is created equal. Look for brands that are organic, minimally processed, and free from added sugars or dairy fillers, as these can dilute the cognitive and cardiovascular benefits. For those with blood sugar sensitivity, unsweetened cacao powder blended into smoothies or chia pudding can deliver the same flavonol benefits without the glycemic load. And if you are trying to build better sleep or stress resilience, studies suggest that regular dark chocolate consumption in moderate doses may support parasympathetic nervous system activity, helping the body wind down more effectively at night. This is not about giving in to cravings. It is about creating a purposeful daily moment of nourishment that supports the systems most affected by age, your mood regulation, your cardiovascular flexibility, and your mental sharpness. When used with intention, dark chocolate is not a guilty pleasure. It is a behavioral tool that feeds both your biology and your emotional well-being. We often talk about aging as if it is a slow descent, a loss of strength, clarity, energy, and purpose. But the truth is, aging is not the problem. The problem is how we feed the systems that keep us resilient. What the science makes clear, and what we have explored today, is that specific foods can act as signals, activating genes, hormones, neurotransmitters, and repair pathways that counteract the wear and tear of time. We began with salmon and sardines, two of the most powerful tools for protecting your brain and heart, enhancing cognitive clarity, and lowering inflammation at the cellular level. We moved into the creamy, nutrient-rich world of avocados, where healthy fats support hormone synthesis, joint lubrication, and mitochondrial function. Then we unpack the cellular intelligence of cruciferous vegetables, which help detoxify the body, regulate estrogen, and even initiate DNA repair mechanisms that preserve the very blueprint of who you are. Berries bring us the polyphenols and flavonoids needed to enhance memory, boost mood, and protect vascular health in our brain, especially as oxidative stress begins to rise. Nuts and seeds deliver the metabolic and hormonal tools to regulate blood sugar, reduce cortisol, and provide the critical minerals needed for thyroid health, emotional stability, and energy regulation. And finally, we explored dark chocolate, not as a guilty pleasure, but as a legitimate intervention for boosting blood flow, supporting neurotransmitter balance, and promoting psychological well-being through a simple, enjoyable daily ritual. Together, these 6 foods do not just nourish your body, they send powerful messages to your nervous system, your immune system, and your endocrine system that it is safe to thrive, that you are still capable of building strength, clarity, emotional resilience, and mental sharpness, no matter your age. So the question now is simple: which of these can you begin with today? Maybe it is a handful of walnuts with breakfast, a side of roasted Brussels sprouts with lunch, or a piece of high cacao chocolate in the evening. Small, consistent actions like these can shift your biology in ways that compound over time, just like compound interest, only in your cells. This is not about being perfect. It is about being strategic. If this message resonated with you, I invite you to become part of this growing community. Like the video, share it with someone you care about, and subscribe so you can continue learning how to build a brain, a body, and a life that reflects your highest potential. You are not getting older. You are getting more finely tuned, more self-aware, and more capable of choosing how you age. And the most powerful way to age well is to feed yourself not just calories, but information. Because food is information. It tells your body what to become. And when you choose wisely, even once a day, you begin to reshape the arc of your health, your energy, and your story.